Welcome to Teaching Truth. My name is Glenn Cartwright. Raiders of the Lost Ark is an action-adventure movie starring Harrison Ford, who plays the part of the fictional character Indiana Jones, the globe-trotting archaeologist who seeks to recover the long-lost Ark of the Covenant, a relic said to make an army invincible. Well, the original Ark of the Covenant would never have been recovered. It would never have been lost in the first place, because it was such a fundamental and foundational piece of furniture within the tabernacle. In our reflection yesterday, we learned that the Ark of the Covenant was the most sacred piece of furniture representing the dwelling place of God. We thought about the manna, we thought about the rod that was part of the Ark of the Covenant. And today, in our reflections on the Ark of the Covenant, we want to think about the tablets of the law. God engraved the moral law, the 10 Commandments as you and I would understand them as we find them in Exodus chapter 20, on stones that Moses had hewn. And those stones were broken by Moses in Exodus chapter 32 verse 19. And so a second set were made and placed into the Ark of the Covenant, Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 2. The tablets of the law that were placed in the Ark of the Covenant were placed in the side of the Ark. And the tablets, the law, pointed to Jesus Christ. What do I mean? Well, Christ's life and ministry were in fulfillment of the law. We read in Matthew chapter 5 verse 17 that Jesus did not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law. In other words, Jesus did not come to cancel the law or to take away the law, but Jesus came full of grace and truth to cancel out the consequences of breaking the law. The Apostle Paul put it clearly when in Romans chapter 10 verse 4 he said this: "For Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone who believes." You see, the law, the tablets, were given by God and read by Moses to be obeyed by the people. The tablets, the 10 Commandments, placed where God dwelt in the Ark of the Covenant, were the will of God for a saved people. And as we think about the 10 Commandments, you see, God did not give Moses 10 good suggestions. He gave him and the people 10 commandments. You see, suggestions we can do what we like with, but what are we supposed to do with commandments, especially commandments given by God? Well, there's only one thing we can really do, and that's to obey them. And in the 10 Commandments, in these tablets, placed within the Ark of the Covenant, the presence of God, the will of God was made known. And I believe that's significant, because a lot of us often seek rightly the will of God, but I very much doubt if we will ever find the will of God outside of the Word of God. We will never find the tablets, as it were, outside of the Ark of the Covenant. We will never find direction for life out with the presence of God himself. So the will of God was very deliberately placed within the Ark of the Covenant. the 10 Commandments, the tablets. Because the 10 Commandments that God gave to these liberated people were given out of love by God in order to help control their newfound liberty. Because remember that these people, the Israelites, had lived under the rule of the taskmaster. Through the tablets, even today, as we consider the significance of the tablets within the Ark of the Covenant, God, by his presence dwelling within us, we are his tabernacle, teaches us through his word placed within us the way to walk, and lets us know what his will is about. The Israelites, when they heard what God had said to Moses, said this: "We will do everything the Lord had said." They had that respect and that reverence for God. When they heard the word of God, they trembled and were afraid. And so in an altogether different but yet significant sense, as we come, as it were, to the Ark of the Covenant, to the dwelling place of God, as we come into his presence and take that time within the veil, within the holy place with him, may we hear his word through his Spirit, and may his words be, as it were, placed deep within our hearts, so that we might hear his word, and that we, like the Israelites, would do everything that the Lord has said. The Ark of the Covenant was significant then for the Israelites. It was the dwelling place of God. And so may we have in our hearts God dwelling in us, and may his words, his commandments, his tablets form part of who we are and what we do for his glory.